wanted to send a quick video home about tonight's homework. We are starting the distributive property of multiplication. This is often where we see a little bit more of a struggle while students are learning how to use the strategy. The distributive property is just a way to break apart a larger factor into two smaller factors and then to add those products back together so that we can get the product for the larger problem. So we are going to take a look at number 2 from the homework, and then if you guys have any questions, you can just send me a dojo message. Okay, so if we're looking at number 2, we see this big array that has a total of 8 groups of 2. So we see the larger problem appears 8 groups of 2 equals blank. So that's what we're working to solve. Okay, so I've done some color coding, which is incredibly helpful, especially with the distributive property, for breaking apart that larger factor and helping students see, well, this small piece comes from here, this small piece comes from here, but it's all going to feed back into the bigger piece. Okay, so we have a dotted line that shows where they've split the array into 2 groups of 4. So we have 4 groups of 2, I'm sorry, not 2 groups of 4, but into 2 smaller arrays, 4 rows of 2. So we have 4 rows of 2 here. That equals 8. And then we have 4 rows of 2 here, and that also equals 8. Okay. So down at the bottom, you see that I have written another equation. Students are going to see this larger equation where we have the smaller array from here in parentheses and this smaller array in parentheses added together. They might also see it where you have the 2 different rows broken apart into just a simple addition equation. The important piece here is that students understand that we are breaking apart the number of groups. We are not breaking apart the size of the groups, which is this unit right here, times 2. We only break apart the number of groups, so we're only breaking apart the rows. Okay, so we pulled these equations from our smaller pieces of the array, the blue and the blue. So 4 times 2 equals 8, and that's added together with another 4 times 2 equals 8. So then students need to reflect on, okay, what is our larger equation that we're actually working towards solving? And that's 8 times 2 equals, and now we can add these two together, 8 plus 8 equals 16. So 8 groups of 2 equals 16. The distributive property will continue to build through other modules. We'll see it come back in module 3, where we're working on different multiples of multiplication. And then you'll see it pop up again in our area modules, where we're having to break apart irregular shapes to solve for area. So it is a very important strategy for them to learn how to use. I hope this was helpful. Please send me a dojo message and let me know if you have any other questions.